had a really interesting experience last week. I went and spent 9 days in North Carolina with my granddaughter when she was having a sinus operation. And I just was really surprised at how it affected me because I've traveled around a lot. My dad was in the Air Force and my husband was in the Air Force, and we moved all over the place. And so I've been to a lot of different places, and I've lived on the East Coast several times. But it really felt very weird to me. And it's probably because I've been in Phoenix for so long that that's just what I'm used to. And so I was surprised that I kept saying, I really miss my little bubble of joy back here at my house, and I really wanted to get home. And it really surprised me. I didn't expect that reaction at all. But we weren't exactly having a great, wonderful vacation because I got some kind of a cough, like maybe a stress cough or something. It wasn't COVID. It wasn't a fever. I just was coughing. Of course, waking her up in the middle of the night with me having a coughing fit was not helpful. But anyway, so she was in massive, massive pain, and she was taking oxycodone, and that wasn't helping at all. So she was like, I called the doctor 4 days in a row and asked her if we could do something else, and they just couldn't. They just kind of like, well, finally the surgeon on Monday says, well, she shouldn't still be in so much pain. And I thought, well, that's kind of crazy because she is. Anyway, so I think she finally just decided to just suck it up and just live through it until Thursday morning when she went, and they had these stents here. Instead of all that packing that gauze stuff, they put stents in there. And because I heard it's really, really painful to get all that gauze taken out. So anyway, so I take her in on Thursday, and of course it was really, really painful for him to take that out. And then he had to stick this vacuum thing up her nose to vacuum everything else out, and major pain. But oh my gosh, she was like instantly a new person. She could breathe normally. She could taste food. She could lay on her side and sleep instead of on her back all the time. And she was like amazing. So she still was massive, massive pain in her nose because they had to break her nose for this deviated septum thing. But what a miracle that they can go in, and this doctor goes and does all the stuff, stitches inside, breaks her nose, fixes that. She wasn't one bit swollen. She wasn't one bit black and blue. She didn't have a single cut on the outside of her skin. I thought, what an absolute miracle that can happen. And I told her, you're not going to get any sympathy from anybody because you don't even look like there's anything's happened to you. But anyway, but her nose hurt so much she couldn't even put her glasses on, and she had to tape them up a little bit to keep any pressure off. But we're past that. But the deal is, so here we are. I said we were in a hotel for 9 days, and I said, we were in our little den of misery because I was miserable and she was miserable. We didn't even want her boyfriend to come over for 4 whole days because we didn't want to talk to anybody. And so we just lay there and we slept, and we did nothing, just slept, and we would watch a movie starting at 10:30 at night. It would be over at 2, and we just did whatever we wanted because we were sleeping all day. And then we'd be awake all night sometimes. But it was all fine, and it was really nice not to have anything that we had to do. We just nothing else to do but lay there. But I also got completely out of my routine. Like I made up my little bundles of supplements to take, and I made a mistake, and I put all of it, in baggies, separate little baggies, instead of doing for each day, like morning and afternoon each day. So I had these little baggies, and I couldn't figure out which pills they were, like because vitamin C and magnesium were the same color, so I just didn't even do any of that. So I got it totally out of my whole routine that I have here at home. And I thought, wow, this is just really, really interesting. And I was really glad to get home and get back into my little routine, which was an interesting thing to notice that I was not able to, well, I didn't adjust to that at that time. So think about that. If you go on trips, are you able to stay focused and in yourself as who you are, and get, just continue on in life and not let it completely throw you off? I was completely out of balance and out of who the heck I was and what I was doing. And so I like to write in my journal, and I write in there, and I said, what is this all about? This upset about being away from home, and not being able to do anything in any normal organized fashion. And my answer was that I needed to get used to it. I needed to, I'm going to be traveling a lot more, and I need to come up with a way to handle all of the routine things that I do and make that be part of my life and routine. So that was my answer. So anyway, and then today we were talking in a group today, and I didn't realize till just today that Actually did a little time travel. I left there at 7:30, no, at 5:30 on Saturday night, and my son and his girlfriend picked me up at 7:30 here, and it was a 5-hour trip. So we did a time travel of losing 3 hours somewhere in the middle of that, or gaining it, or whatever you want to call it. So that was that was amazing to think that here time is just weird. Like here we are, and they're 3 hours different, and so the whole thing was just kind of an interesting experience. And I wonder if you've had any of those kind of things when you're gone. Like I say, this wasn't a vacation at all. It was definitely not a fun thing because both of us were miserable for quite a while. My back was killing me, and I think the bed was too soft. But anyway, we got through it, and she's back to school, and I'm back here and getting back into my routine. So I have to focus on the fact that I need to not be in a routine all the time. I need to be flexible and allow things to come out differently, and that I'm okay there, just like I'm okay here. Because I do have a very nice little bubble of joy right here in my little circle here with the people, my friends, and being here at home and my family and everything. So anyway, so that was the latest adventure of my life, and I'm wondering if you're having any of those kind of adventures. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good week, and I'll talk to you next week.